Hi everyone, I'm here with a journal page again, and today I wanted to see how the colours yellow and grey mixed. I don't use that combination, so I just wanted to have a go. And I'm starting in my new small dilutions journal. So this is the first page, and I've opened it up pretty much to the middle. So I applied some gesso there. And now I'm using, I bought it for my quilting because it gives you, I think, a centimetre from the edge of a shape. And I wanted that sort of size circle, so I used it. And so I'm just creating various sized circles here because I'm going to use a stamp set by Mixed Media Store Australia, and those sizes were similar to those, and I needed to mask it off the area. So I just mixed up some Mars black and white to get a shade of grey, and I'm just applying it on the page with my fingers. I think you get a better look, a better texture when you use your fingers. Sometimes you want the brush stroke look and other times you don't. Because I don't have a lot of elements on this page, so here I am trying to darken it a little bit. I went too far, so I'm adding more white. So not doing much, just still trying to apply the paint. Just trying to use it up, I think. So I add a little bit of black to darken it just that little bit more, just in areas. I don't think you really see it in the end on the edges. So now I'm going to stamp these stitched circles, stamps. And I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. It's a pigment ink, so it takes quite a while for it to dry, but my Ranger Archival Jet Black ink pad is a bit dry, so it needs juicing up, and they wouldn't have appeared as vivid as they have with the VersaFine. So now I'm just applying 3 shades of yellow acrylic over the grey, cadmium yellow deep hue, daffodil, and opaque yellow. And I think I add some white to it later on just to get some variation in the colour. Oh, and I tried this PBO fluorescent yellow, but it sort of looked a bit green and out of place. So I end up covering that up later on. So I've used those um, circles as masks so I don't go within those stamped images. So you don't see a lot of the grey after the yellow has been applied, but the whole point of that was to show the grey under the circles. And now I'm doing a bit of stamping after I heat set it, just with an unknown script stamp. It's my go-to script stamp, and I have, for the life of me, no idea where I got it from. I've had it for years. I think it may have been the first script stamp that I purchased. So they're just a little bit of stampage. I don't think it shows much later on, and I think I used grey flannel memento ink there. And now I'm going and stamping some more circles over that yellow. So I use those paper circles to mask off the areas of the grey circles. So now I'm going back in with grey. It's a lighter shade than the first set of grey that I applied, just to give it some different look. It looks a bit white there, but it is grey. So you can see how I'm using those circle masks so I don't go paint over the grey. So there we go, all covered. Just adding some interest with a bit darker grey. And now I'm stamping some more circles. Thinking. So now going over that grey with the yellow shades. Adding some white to the yellow mixes just to give it some definition, I guess. It was a bit fiddly trying to mask off and add the paint around those circles, but I must say that I didn't um, go over any of them. Yeah, I kept losing the circles. I just realised I'd missed a spot. Now I'm using the Ranger Jet Black Archival because I realised that the VersaFine ink wasn't drying quick enough. So adding more circles. And I'm working upside down in the book and didn't realise. So I like the look of the sort of blank area up the top left, but when I turned it round, it was down the bottom right. I had to work with that. So mixing all those yellows together and adding a lot of white and just going around all those circles now. Oops, not yet. Got to add the grey first. Getting ahead of myself there. I don't know where this idea came from. I know I wanted to use yellows and greys, and I wanted to use the stitch circle stamps. And that's just how the page evolved. And I don't mind the yellow and grey together. Looks a bit of a mess at the moment, so I'll try and fix that up later. So now I've finished with all the circles, I thought. Ah, yes, I am. So what I've decided to do, and I should have left this until I painted the lighter yellow. I'm trying to go over the stamps there, trying to use my stamp positioning tool, and for the life of me, it evaded me. So I ditch it and just try my luck. And it works to a certain degree. But I still have to mask off the circles in order to stamp a lot of them. So really got to be conscious of what you're doing and don't get any interruptions. So now they're more defined. Well, they will be once I finish. Yeah, I'd lost the circle. Found it. Did I? I think so. Yep. Now, if I tried to stamp these with the VersaFine ink, I would have smudged them, putting the circle masks over them and moving them around. That'll do it. There's only a very subtle change in colours of the greys and the yellows, but that's okay. Yeah, there I just grabbed a brush and it broke. Made a bit of a mess, but I cleaned it up. So now I'm just using a paintbrush, going around all the circles. And they're not defined edges. They've got the stitches overlapping, overhanging, but I don't worry about that. And this is when I said earlier on that I probably should have waited for the stamping until I'd done this part. So you see there, the bottom right is where the blank area is, bottom right and top, and it looked better top left, but I realised just in time. But I do have a few pages in a few of my journals that are upside down, but that's okay. So I just stamped some more. I think it was the grey flannel, but it could have been the jet black, I'm not quite sure. So now I'm masking off a stamp. I just want the needle and thread. It had a quote on it, so I'm just taking some sticky tape and marking off the words and stamping it with the Ranger Jet Black archival ink. There we go. And then I decided to write the quote in a black uniball pen, trying to get a patched quilt type of look. Nothing very original with the quote. And the pen wasn't sort of helping, so I end up going over it. I think with a Pentel touch pen. And that word not should have been down a little bit more, but it's okay. Here I am trying to try and find a pen that's going to work. And that's the Pentel touch pen. And that's it. So stay tuned for the next journal page because oh, it's not it. I faux stitch around the edge of the page. But I had a lot of the yellow and grey left over, so I decided to do another journal page based on the yellow and grey again. So stay tuned for that one. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back soon with the next journal page. Bye.